Ahoy and welcome to the first discussion of 2022. I'm here with Sir Lumber. And what better way, Sir Lumber, to start 2022 than to talk about all the games we're excited for in 2022?
Can't think of any better way.
I think
Gotta love having these discussions.
Of course. Are you ready to talk about all the fun games we will and will not be playing this year?
Oh, for sure. Super excited.
Cool. So basically what I have here, I went off of a list from The Gamer.
Okay.
The first Google site I found for all 2022 games coming out
Sounds
this year.
legit. Okay.
Yep. Basically, I've listed out all games that I recognize that are coming out in this calendar year, that are confirmed to come out this calendar year.
Right.
So we won't see stuff like Hollow Knight Silk Song or...
We probably never will see that game, ever.
Yeah, that game will never actually happen. Or like Metroid Prime 4 or something like that.
Yeah, well, we know that's not coming.
Yeah. Games with a 2022 stamp of approval on them.
Yeah. Regardless of if they have a actual, specific day, but...
Yeah. So we're going to go through January through December, and then at the end we'll do all the undated games, which I think is a lot of the fun ones, actually.
Yep.
Let's see what else I got here. I'm not going to do any ports, no re-releases, no remasters, except for one. There's one game specifically.
I know which one, yeah, which I think you should.
But I think it should be fun. So let's just hop into it, Sir Lumber. January 20th, Rainbow Six Extraction.
That's funny that you asked that. I don't know if you and I have talked about this, so I'm not going to buy it, but it will be coming to Xbox Game Pass day one.
It is a day one Game Pass.
Yes, it is.
That should be another category, the Game Pass zone.
Yeah. We can address that as we get to them, but I actually have it already pre-installed on my Xbox because got some buddies that wanna try it out. So one of them being friend of the show, Bird Dog Gaming. So yeah, I think I will play that, and it looks. I mean, I never played a Rainbow Six game before. I know that the previous one, Rainbow Six Siege, that's a big Andy Landy game, right?
Yeah.
So so I will at least try it. If it were not coming to Game Pass, I probably would not drop that. I think only $40, which is kind of strange. It's probably
really?
Heavily monetized.
It's not even a full
I think it's only
game?
40. What's that?
It's not even a full price game.
I don't think so. No, and which leads me to believe it's Ubisoft, which. I mean, they do monetize their stuff, so this one I bet is going to be significantly monetized. But no strings attached.
Maybe you can get a Rainbow Six NFT for your weapon skin.
NFTs, man. I'm only just learning what the heck those are. So
Yeah.
Can't wait. Yeah.
Well, cool. I think I kind of follow with you. That's one of those games I would only play if people were wanting to play with me.
Yeah.
And I guess
it's not one I seek out myself. Yeah.
That's a tougher pill to swallow now that I realize it's going to Game Pass.
Right.
So yeah, maybe I'll do the same as you. Maybe I'll download that, play some fun co-op gameplay on Game Pass. But Sir Lumber, how about January 28th, Pokemon Legends Arceus?
I don't know. I've never been a big Pokemon fan. No.
Never been a big
definitely gonna get this one. Yeah, and I'm still not sure what to expect from the. I guess the open worldness of it, if that makes sense. I feel like we've heard things that it could be set up similar to Monster Hunter, where it's like you have a hub place and then you go out onto missions in a set environment.
Yeah.
It's not like this interconnected world, which that's more what I would want. But I like Monster Hunter, and this is if Pokemon Monster Hunter crossover, I'll take it. That's cool.
They actually, I don't know if you watched it this morning, they released another 15 minutes of gameplay for this game.
I saw that they released that. I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah. They're really starting to get into the marketing cycle for this thing.
Yeah.
But they're still showing a lot of the same
2 weeks away
things.
as of tomorrow.
Oh, yeah? It's getting close.
Yeah.
They're showing a lot of the same things in all these videos, and I don't know, there's two outcomes here. Either, one, they're not showing stuff because they want to keep stuff secret, or two, that's just the whole game. Which I don't think.
Right.
I don't think it is.
That's normally not the case. Yeah.
This is a big game for them, so I hope they. I'm pretty excited about it. The turn-based battles are different too. It's still turn-based Pokemon stuff, but there's it's agile moves and strong moves, and in the top right of your screen, you'll see an attacking order. It's not just alternating.
I like that. Right.
It's
I remember them showing that.
It's like you, me, you, and then you can
And I'm sure. It's nice to. That's always a good way to show the importance of speed, like that stat. and make it more important. And Pokemon, I feel like it's always been important, but I like to see it visually represented. Games like I always go back to, which maybe this is the only game I've had experience with this kind of thing in, but Octopath Traveler. Yep. I liked having the move order
planning out your moves and stuff. Through that. Yeah, that's a definite day one for me. I'm definitely buying that one immediately.
Yeah, actually pre-ordered from the Pokemon Center website because.
You get the little plushie?
A necessity. I had to get the Arceus plushie. So yeah, just put that on the shelf. It'll collect dust for 20 years, and
then it'll be worth $600 one day.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Yeah, maybe I'll put it in like a vacuum sealed like bag or something. It'll be good to go.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
All right, that was the only 2 January games I put on this list. Believe it or not, January's normally pretty slow. But then we get into February, which is a little more busy. Starting off with February 4th, Dying Light 2: Stay Human.
Yeah, so I think this game is hurt by how busy the rest of the month is and how invested I am in specifically 2 other games that are coming out in February. So I don't know that it's not that I won't try this game later, but I'm certainly not going to pick it up day one. It seems interesting to me. I didn't play the first one.
To Game Pass?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't even remember who develops the Dying Light games, but I don't think it's I don't think it is. I don't know if
these are like zombie games, basically.
I just don't remember who. If the developer has a history of that Microsoft relationship. It's not like a Bethesda or something. So, I don't know. I want to say no, it's not. But even if it was, given the things how busy the month will end up being. Even if it was coming to Game Pass, I guess that'd be more of an incentive to try it later because it's just sitting there free.
Yeah.
But won't be picking it up day one probably, but it is interesting to me. I didn't play the first one, but this one, I don't think they're really connected except for the world that it's in. So it does seem interesting, but
it's also coming to Switch via Steam. Or not Steam, via Cloud. Sorry.
Cloud, yeah. Yeah. The definitive way to play any game.
Yes.
The Switch Cloud connection.
Speaking of definitive, I need to hear an answer. Is this in the wait zone or the no zone for you?
It's a wait. Yeah, I won't say it's a no because it is interesting to me. But wait for me. Yeah.
Next one is a smaller game coming to PlayStation February 8th. Sifu. You heard about this game? It's that one with the cool fighting
game.
You get older as you
Yeah.
Is it older as you progress or as you get damaged or something?
I don't know that much details about it.
By the end, you're like a really old guy. I think you lose when you die.
With a cane.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you.
I haven't watched much gameplay since this game was revealed, but there was a preview recently, and it was like the first level, and people said the combat is so good they've been replaying the first level over and over again.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think for me, this game falls into a one day they're going to put it on PlayStation Plus and I'll download it kind of thing.
And I still probably won't play it. But it's the thing is if you forced this game in front of me and said you have to play this right now, I'm sure I would enjoy it.
Yeah.
But it's going to be overshadowed so much by other things that I'm more interested in. So I don't even know if I put this in the wait column because while it looks interesting, I got to be realistic. When am I ever going to get to it? So,
yeah. Yeah, when you said realistic, I think I just moved that from my wait zone to my no zone.
I think, if we go back to Dying Light, that one is a little bit more for me. I could see myself if I have a break, maybe I'll go back and play that one if it gets some really good reviews and that kind of thing. Which, speaking of that, I know I'm backtracking, but I saw something crazy from the developer. It's gonna take if you want to complete it, it's gonna take 500 hours or something. It's okay.
Well, they were further pressed on that, and basically the definitive final answer from them is beating the game is 20 hours.
20 hours.
Beating the game just crit pathing.
Yeah.
Beating the game and exploring the environments thoroughly is 80 hours, and then completing the game is 500. So it sounds like it's just a marketing technique of they put some nonsense completion incentive.
Right.
Completing a lot of games would take 500 hours, but what does completing mean?
Yeah, I don't think I have put 500 hours into any single game before in my entire life.
The closest I've come is
to I've come close with a Pokemon game, but I don't think I haven't.
I've definitely hit it. I've definitely hit it with a couple Pokemon games. I've hit it with Fortnite. of all things.
You're a cultured man.
I'm a cultured man. I mean, I probably, one of the old Call of Duties, like in middle school, high school, I probably hit 500 hours.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Sure.
Yeah. I remember those games, you'd just be like, well, we're going to play till 4 a.m. On Tuesday. And it's like, oh, that's what you do.
Well, you know, I think back to, like, what games I even came close to 500. Like I said, the closest was, weirdly enough, is like Pokemon Ultra Sun, I think, which I had recently found out about, like, the meta, I guess, of Pokemon and, like, how you could really dive into it. And so I just spent so much time, like, hatching eggs and stuff. It was ridiculous. But if I go back further than that, stuff like really recent, like Fire Emblem Three Houses, Breath of the Wild. Both of those I put close to 300 hours probably. Animal Crossing, you know, everyone went into the Animal Crossing hole of 2020. But you know, those are pretty recent games, so I can't. There were reasons why, like, those games I really connected with, but even something like The Witcher, which I've beaten, The Witcher 3, I've beaten like 2 or 3 times. I guarantee the total time is like probably 200 hours. It's just nuts.
That's what I say. Not to get too off topic, but if you were to cut that, so 500 hours is ridiculous. But if you were to cut in like 250, I could probably name 10 games I hit 250 hours in.
Probably.
But 500 is a little,
that much, but
500 is a little insane to ask. But what were you talking about? That was Dying Light. We went to see back to Dying Light.
Went to Dying Light. Yeah. Okay.
Sorry. Next game. I think it's one we're both excited about. Horizon Forbidden West on February 18th. I'm gonna go first here because I think you're gonna say something similar, but I'll let you. I'm gonna buy this game. I'm probably not gonna play it immediately. It's a day one buy, but it's gonna get butchered by the next game that comes out.
Well, it's just so unfortunate because, first of all, Horizon Zero Dawn, very good game. I thought it has a very interesting story. The gameplay is really good. Yeah, like everything about that game is really, well, not everything, but a lot of it's unique. It has that kind of open world, like go to this tower and reveal part of the map, like tropes, like those kind of things. But it's still unique in a lot of ways. And the first one came out and just at a bad time. And I've heard people say it came out. I haven't actually looked into this, or I don't remember correctly. Did it come out the same day as Breath of the Wild? I thought it came out in February.
It came out like a couple weeks.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah. But basically, by the time people got their claws into it, it just
Breath of the Wild is here. Yeah. And oh my gosh, this is a perfect game.
Now they're doing the same things happening with Elden Ring.
Which,
it's funny. Both the times Horizons come out, a like super sought after game has come out like shortly after. Yeah. And we'll see if the same effect happens. I mean, who knows? Horizon could be a much better game than the next game coming out. We'll get to in a second. But I have a feeling that it's going to get a little bit overshadowed again.
Yeah. So I think I'm in the same place as you. I'm a big fan of the first game. You know, I played the DLC. That was really good. So I'm going to buy it probably day one. I may even buy like the $80 special edition rather than like the $70 base game. You know, get the goofy art book and stuff. But yeah, it's going to have to be shelved for who knows how long. To be honest, I don't know how long it's going to take to get through the next one a week later.
I didn't want to cut you off. I accidentally hit the my replay button. So part of that discussion, you're going to hit like thrown into the corner on my replay thing.
What is it going to look like?
It'll look like the replay on the streams with like you up here and like a blank screen down here, and but it's because I typed capital R in for the next game, which I'll just go ahead and say February 25th, Elden Ring. Probably my most anticipated game.
Yeah,
I could say we're talking Breath of the Wild 2 would probably be equal, but I know so much more about Elden Ring, and it seems so much more attainable. Than Breath of the Wild that it's my most.
It's exactly where I'm at. Yeah, and maybe it's just because that's just what I want right now is a Souls game. I want to play it. You know, we're playing Dark Souls 1 right now, and that's really fun. It's really get me ready for it. And I just want that's just the kind of game I want right now. And yeah, I think it's definitely affected by Breath of the Wild being so obscure still. It's just we've gotten some cinematic trailers, a little tad bit of gameplay, I guess, if you want to call it that. We don't even know the name of this sequel.
It's called the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
That's what's going to be on the box.
They're going to sell millions. Yeah.
Imagine if they were so paranoid about how they say the title's going to spoil the game. They just never tell you. It just never gets a title.
I assume Yeah, I assume what they mean by that is the title. They want to reveal it when they reveal some other kind of gameplay hook or story hook. It's not like it's going to spoil the end of the game. It's
it's
they
not
can't
reveal
it ahead of
Zelda or Legend of Zelda. Link was the bad guy the whole time. But
Yeah. What's the elf thing with like the green suit? What's his name?
Buddy the Elf.
No. Well, maybe.
Tingle.
So Tingle's Revenge. It's gonna be Breath of the Wild. Tingle's Revenge.
There we go.
The Legend of Zelda Tingle's Revenge.
I would play that.
Yeah.
All right. So I think
gosh, Tingle. He's mad. He's coming back.
We've beaten Elden Ring to death on like every other time we've talked.
Yeah.
Because it just finds a way into the conversation. So let's talk about a game that I'm much less excited for. March 3rd, Babylon's Fall. Square Enix.
I know like nothing about that.
This is the game they showed during E3.
I know what it is, but
it looked so bad. I hate to say it, but it looked. I think Platinum is helping with this one.
Yeah, sounds right.
And it just did not look good. I think it's like a co-op, like, what do you call those games? Those action hack and slash maybe kind of things. I think it's what it is. I also don't really care because it looked really bad last time.
Yeah. I'm going to pass it up. There's too much around it. Like, why would I mean, unless, there's been a couple random things we experienced last year, like, where, this game was totally not on my radar, and, it's a 10. Like, okay.
Yeah.
So if that's what happens, okay, I'll give it a look, maybe, but,
This game does not look
it's a no
great to me, so I'm going to pass it. Here's another interesting game, PlayStation's answer to Forza, Gran Turismo 7. March 4th.
It's kind of their answer. It's more of a sim.
It's a sim, yes. I guess maybe their answer to Forza Motorsport.
Sure.
It's just like a sim, like super sim, probably really good looking car game. I think it's going to be held back because this is a cross-gen game. I didn't realize that. Okay. I don't think it's going to look as good as it could because they're still having to make that PS4 version. I'm sure it'll look good.
There's lots of games this year that are going to be doing that.
Yeah, for sure. This is a wait for me because I played Gran Turismo 5 and the PS3, and I played Forza Horizon 5. I like games like this, but I don't know if I need it. If I already have Forza and this game is not like Forza Horizon is like the more fun version of these games.
Yes.
And if Gran Turismo 7 isn't like amazing, I'm just going to keep playing Forza.
Right. Well, the thing is, if it is a sim, I don't know that that's what I even want in a racing game. Yeah. So, like, regardless of the pedigree of the series, like, I guess I never owned a Gran Turismo game. I feel like I have vague memories of playing them, though, at some point.
Yeah.
I don't remember them being, like, were they always, like, sims? Like, driving sims? Or...
They're pretty sure there's a Gran Turismo Sport. I don't know if that's, like, a Forza Horizon thing or if that's just, like, another...
Yeah.
I never played that game, but...
So with racing games, what I want out of them is a Forza Horizon, and I've got that, and it's like they add like events to it, and there's plenty of stuff. I've like not completed it, but I've done most of the main stuff, and I'm kind of putting it aside for now. But it's really good, and if I want a racing game, I can just go back to that.
Yeah.
So and that's so probably
I think it's gonna be tough sledding for Gran Turismo 7 unless people don't have an Xbox, they only have a PlayStation.
Right. Right. Yeah. So but there's other things out there.
Yeah.
I mean, if people still aren't looking for a racing game like that, the Dirt series, Dirt 5, I thought was pretty good. Or I never played it, but I thought it was well received. So.
Yeah, like you said, I personally am more of a fan of a little more arcadey racers. I don't need to play a sim where I need to like take the turns at like 25 miles an hour. Like
just get Cruise and Blast on Switch.
Cruise and Blast, man, that's tempting.
It's always fun in the arcade. Yeah.
Now here's a wait. So is that going to be a wait for you or a pass for you?
I think realistically, I would have to say a pass. Again, it's one of those weird things where it's like if it's amazing, maybe I'll give it a look and see why it's amazing. Is it amazing to people who like driving sims, or is it amazing to the regular gamer too? So it's a pass for me until I have more information.
Now here's probably one of my other most anticipated games, also on March 4th. No longer Project, just Triangle Strategy on the Switch.
It's always a big day, when a game drops its Project.
It's a big day.
Big day.
I've talked about this game a lot too. I loved Octopath. It's made by the same people who made Octopath, the same art style. It's more of a strategy or tactical kind of game. Octopath was just a turn-based JRPG. This is more of like a tactics game. I played the demo. The demo was awesome. It reminded me a little bit of Fire Emblem. But looking like an Octopath game, and it just looks. It sounds amazing. This is a day one. This might be my, other than like Elden Ring, this is like my most anticipated game that's dated right now.
Man, that's tough because I haven't played the demo of this, but I was sold on it when they announced it. I was like, okay, it's made by the Octopath people. It looks, I love that art style. It's a tactic game, so I've gotten I've gotten experience with that with Fire Emblem. Like I mentioned with Three Houses, so I'm all in for this game. But Horizon, Elden Ring, it's just like, how am I gonna play and have a functioning adult life?
I think this
is
the following Friday after Elden Ring.
Yeah. Yep. It is.
It's going to be a tough one, but I'm going to get it. And I don't know, I might still be deep into Elden Ring. I might not want to start this game. I don't know.
After a week? Of Elden Ring? Of course you will be. Unless you finish it that weekend.
I'll probably, when I play Elden Ring, I'll probably play it again, like immediately.
Yeah,
that's how I like to do. That's how I like to do Souls games. I could play. Yeah. I played like the first run, completely with the blinders, don't know what's going on, and then Then I spoil myself after that, and I go.
How many endings are there? Like, what's all the secret stuff? What NPC quests can I get?
Yeah, all that stuff. And I just replay the game full guide mode. Right. So I'll probably be still be on my first playthrough after the week.
Yeah.
Unless I do some crazy stuff.
I'm gonna be shocked if you're not.
I mean,
you take off that whole week from.
Who knows? We'll see what happens. But so I really want to play Triangle Strategy, but it might be just consumed by the Elden Ring.
It's gonna be interesting, like to have that kind of a backlog built up in such a short time, like with Horizon, Elden Ring, and I don't know what you're gonna do with Horizon. Are you gonna play the first one and then?
Yeah. Horizon's Horizon's like a game I'm gonna buy in February and play next February. Like I'm gonna get to it.
So you do want to play the first one first?
Yes, I want to play both of them.
You're not just gonna.
I just can't.
Okay. I think that's worth your time. I would also be. I would accept if you said, like, I just want to get a story recap of the first one. Yeah. But I like that you're going to play the first one because it is really good. So,
I've already started the first one. I played like 3 hours of it, and I really enjoyed it. It just got kind of overshadowed. So I'm going to play both those games.
Yeah, it's just, I know myself, and Elden Ring is it's going to be the game that I'm thinking about while I'm at work, that, like, I want to go back home and just play, and, like, it's going to overshadow everything else. And
dude, that's me playing Dark Souls 1 right now. And I like Dark Souls 3. I like Dark Souls 3 more than Dark Souls 1. And I'm still sitting here, like, thinking about what build I want to do with Dark Souls 1.
Oh, dude, it's addicting.
And Elden Ring's just going to be more. Yeah. It's just going to be
bigger and better, and it's just, I'm getting so pumped.
We're so excited about this game. It's been mentioned before and after we actually mentioned it.
Yeah, well, and it's going to probably, when we even get to, like, Breath of the Wild, the vague date, we're going to keep comparing it to that because our excitement levels. Yeah. I mean, I didn't mention this, but I got the collector's edition for that. I don't think I've ever bought a collector's edition for a game before. So I'm so pumped. I feel like I need to take at least one day off, like around the weekend that it comes out.
Dude,
to,
take a Monday off, for sure.
I may do it. I'm probably going to do it, to be honest.
Yeah. So back to Triangle Strategy. Is that a wait or a buy for you?
Oh, it's a buy. I'm going to get it day one, I think. Just make sure I have it, and because why kid myself? I'm not gonna. There's no question that I want to play it. So, and it based on what you've said about the demo, and it was critically received well, like by the people who we care about saying things about video games. Like I think they enjoyed it too, right? So I'm sure it's gonna live up to expectations. It's gonna be fun. So yeah.
Speaking of fun, I've got another fun game for you. Also from Square. Chocobo GP on March 10th. The Chocobo Final Fantasy Mario Kart game.
Yeah. So I mentioned this is the other game this year that I bought the collector's edition for. No, I'm just kidding.
I got a life-size Chocobo.
Yeah. They sent me an ostrich. That they are calling a Chocobo.
Here's what I'll say about this game. I'm going to put it in my no.
No way.
I love kart racers, and when I say I love kart racers, I love Mario Kart. Is what I mean by that.
Yeah. How many other kart races have you played?
Exactly. If this game was if someone was literally this game is just Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with Final Fantasy characters, I'd be like, okay, I'll probably play that. But it's not gonna be.
You're not getting that.
I know it's not gonna be. I know it's not gonna be. I know it's gonna be some clunky, like goofy.
Yeah. Is this Square developed, or is it just like their IP, obviously, and then they farmed it out?
I couldn't tell you. Nintendo's been like marketing it. Maybe Nintendo's publishing it. I don't know. I know.
Oh. Let's look into that.
I couldn't tell you. It's probably Square published. I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, the thing is, with the first reveal of something, you gotta hit big, right? You gotta make. It didn't look appealing when they showed it. It looked janky and like.
They're not putting all their they're not putting all of their resources into it, because instead of saying like, "Hey, you can play as Cloud," they're like Gilgamesh from Final Fantasy IX. It's like, okay, well.
Okay.
So you're not giving us like the Final Fantasy characters.
At the end of the day, the biggest draw is the Chocobo.
Yeah.
I get to be a Chocobo.
Yeah. So I'll be realistic with myself and put it in the no zone unless something miraculous happens. Here's a game I am excited for, and it's funny that I look at this because I was gonna play this game months ago when it had like a demo. I never got around to it. It's also on the Xbox. Tunic.
And
it's
gonna be Game Pass, right?
It says Xbox Series, all that crap.
I thought that was like okay.
It might be Game Pass. I don't know for sure. But I look back at it and it reminds me a lot of Death's Door, which is another Xbox game that I really liked. It's like an isometric like action. What do you call it? Action adventure kind of thing.
Yeah, like a Zelda clone.
Exactly.
Like a
like a little fox fellow. And this game's interesting.
It looks really fun.
This one has like in Death's Door you have a health system, and then it has like a cool like magic system built off your health. This game, it looks like you just have like a health stamina magic bar.
Yeah,
straight up.
Which I like that traditional setup for sure.
This is a game I'm going to put on my wait.
When's it coming out?
March 16th, so still in that Elden Ring encompassment.
Yeah, if it was like the 20th or 30th or something like that in March, it'd have a better chance. But
yeah, if this is
the Elden Ring sphere of influence,
the sphere of influence, and then right outside of it, immediately is Triangle Strategy. So I'm like, I'm gonna put this.
Then backing it up is Horizon.
Yeah,
which is, waiting
it's
there
a
for you.
tough couple weeks there. I have been excited for this game though, and if it's good and it's on Game Pass, I'll probably play it eventually.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's see here. We got a game that I should like on paper. I probably won't like because I already played it. March 18th, Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. I'm going to throw that in my no. I played that game for several hours, and it was not...
Against my will.
I thought that game was going to be better than what I experienced.
I don't know, man. I thought it was weird from when they announced it.
I thought it was like really cheesy and like the writing was really bad for the trailer. But I was like, okay, it's like was it Team Ninja or Ninja? Who's that? The people who make Neo.
It's Team Ninja, I believe. I apologize if that's wrong. I'm pretty sure.
Well, there's like a Team Ninja. There's like another Ninja.
There's Ninja Theory, which isn't that?
It's one of the Ninja developers who makes Neo.
Yeah, I'm almost positive it's Team Ninja.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on paper, it's like, okay, cool. They're making like a Final Fantasy like Souls-like, and that sounds cool. I played that game.
The Neo games are really good. Yeah. I played both of them very good. So if they translate that into
it looks bad. Like it's like really dark and muddy. Yeah. I didn't really understand like the loop was gonna be. So like the loop is like obviously you're not supposed to know the whole story, but like you're killing Chaos or whatever his name is, and then like the game continues after that. I guess I don't know what the point of the game's going to be. We played that.
I know it's a reimagining of the original Final Fantasy, right?
Yeah,
which
or something.
I know nothing about
the world of the first Final Fantasy, something like that. Yeah. I didn't really like the characters. They looked like they were like weird modern, but also like in the past. Like he was wearing like a freaking like Aeropostale T-shirt, but he's like. Yeah, I don't know what was going on with that.
And then a knight sword.
Yeah, it was really weird.
They had a mohawk.
The demo was weird because like the entire build up to the final boss was like pretty easy, and then like the boss was like overpowered, broken, like.
Well, and there was
unfair.
a reason for that. and this is, I'm sure plenty of people don't care about this, but it was something that I had a big gripe about. It was the parry system and the way it freaking like drained your stamina.
Yep.
And there wasn't essentially like you had to use the parry to win, but it almost was at your detriment. Like it just didn't make any sense to me. And it's weird because, and again, this is getting really into the details, but in Neo 2 specifically, there is a similar parry system that works, that makes sense, that does a good thing for you. Like, why would they go back on that? Why would they mess that up? So that was part of my feedback I gave, and like the thing.
Yeah, typing out with a freaking PlayStation controller with anger at like 2 in the morning. That was hilarious.
It was not good. Not good.
Well, speaking of a good game, I think we'll both get March 25th, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, another Borderlands game.
This is like first big, if you don't count Elden Ring with its multiplayer components, but this is the first big thing I'm looking forward to with the like heavily multiplayer like co-op aspect. Yep. Obviously the Borderlands games, you can play through the whole thing with friends, and this is gonna be the same.
I like the setting of this game too. The setting looks cool.
I'm a sucker for like fantasy crap. So yeah,
I'm excited for this one. It's looking at our list already. It's kind of funny. We got Pokemon, Horizon, Elden Ring, Triangle Strategy, and Tiny Tina's. This is all in the span of like 2 months.
Yeah.
Already.
Yep. Yep.
It's a pretty big busy time.
Right.
So that's all the games through March.
Expensive time.
Yeah. I guess I didn't say specifically. I'm also going to get this one. I'm really excited.
Oh, yeah.
I love Borderlands games, especially co-op.
Yep.
That's all the games through March. I want to point something out here that I think is hilarious. You might have, we mentioned it, but like we didn't like specifically mention it. Square Enix is publishing 4 games in March. Babylon's Fall, Triangle Strategy, Chocobo GP, and Stranger Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. They have 4 games coming out in 15 days.
Yeah.
Why does it make any sense for them? Why are they doing this?
I don't know.
They don't.
But
they don't have anything coming out in January or February or April, May. They just have all their games coming out in March.
Well, and they're turning into one of those like mega developers, right? That like is also a mega publisher.
Sure, but then spread it out a little bit, guys.
Yeah.
Like, what do you?
This is all different stuff. So.
Yeah, I guess it was just a weird strategy for me. I don't know why they're all coming out in March specifically.
Right. Yeah.
Also, while they're all coming out after Elden Ring, a couple weeks, I know like they're not sitting here thinking like, oh, we got to avoid Elden Ring, but they got to have some idea that they're gonna the attention's gonna be on that game.
Yeah. I think Elden Ring is going to draw in, which I know we just keep coming back to it, but it's going to draw in like other people too who haven't played the From Software games. Like it's going to be that big.
It's getting into that cyberpunk zone where like the game's getting so much attention. If it's bad, it's going to be bad. Like things.
Gosh, I don't think From Software is ever like they have much more pedigree than CD Projekt Red. So
consistency for sure.
Consistency is so. If they did that,
but this
game would ruin all Souls games for me.
It's getting to that point where like it is getting the attention of like regular non-Souls fans. It's definitely gonna be their biggest game ever, I think.
Until something beats it. Until Breath of the Wild 2 is just absolutely incredible. And it's
I'm saying it's going to be their best game as far as biggest
it
release. It
has that potential.
Biggest release. Because what do they have before this? Like Dark Souls 3 was probably huge for them, but those games were still like Dark Souls intimidating games back then. Bloodborne's kind of like, Bloodborne's like it's a favorite of many people, but it's only on the PlayStation.
Right.
And then they got into Sekiro, which is like a very intimidating game.
One game of the year.
Yeah, but it's still like an intimidating game that's not like a Souls-like. I feel like Elden Ring has all the stuff building up to it to be like their biggest release ever.
Yeah. Right. Yep. It makes sense. That's, assuming that a company doesn't crap pants along the way. This is how it should go. They keep building on what they've released before, and now it's like their. I think you've called them for their magnum opus.
Yeah.
Could have the potential to be bigger than what we thought was Dark Souls being its the original being its groundbreaking thing.
Yeah.
Which it still is. That set the foundation. Right? Like this is like what they're bringing all these different elements together. So and I think after this, they may fall back a little, not fall back in quality, but maybe in scope a little bit.
Scope and scale.
Yeah. So, and this is something that we won't see again for
something a little more focused,
years,
like a
Sekiro.
Bloodborne 2.
Well, maybe. You never know. You never know. That's less likely every passing year, but
yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Then we have a bit of a jump here from March 25th to April 28th. I wrote Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl. This game looked really pretty when they showed it at the Xbox E3 thing. It's like a shooter, first-person shooter.
I don't know anything about the first one. I never.
I don't either. Most recent thing I've heard about this game, it got a lot of backlash because they were like, "We're gonna have a Stalker 2 NFT skin thing in this game." And everyone's like, "Don't do that." Ooh. And they're like, "Okay, we won't do it." And then I think this game actually, it's funny. I have it written down as April 28th. I think literally today it got delayed to December. I just forgot to update that.
Really?
Yeah, literally like a couple hours ago.
Dang. I mean, what does Xbox have then? That's crazy.
Yeah, I just remember this just now. I don't know.
That's nuts, though.
But yeah, that game got delayed.
What are they going to do to compete?
Xbox
always gets themselves in this hole.
They'll be fine. They'll get something. They'll throw something on Game Pass in like February. It'll be like,
I mean,
Elden Ring to Game Pass, and everyone will freak out.
Oh no way, man! That would be nuts. Oh man, From Software wouldn't allow that.
Yeah, Microsoft could have that bag, man.
They
Here's
do.
$10 billion.
There's not a single From Software game on Game Pass, is there?
I couldn't tell you.
I'm pretty sure there's not, but so I don't know.
All right, May 19th. This was the one game I said I knew I was gonna like put games in here that I knew I recognized, but this one I guess I missed my thing. I bet a funny name: Vampire: The Masquerade Swan Song.
I have nothing to say about this.
This one got through my little thing. I'm not sure what this game is. I think it's part of a series. I couldn't tell you anything about it.
It is in some capacity, yeah.
Here's one I'm going to put in my weight zone. It's another Square Enix game, Forspoken.
Yeah, it's a wait for me too.
I don't really like. It almost looks like a. It looks pretty. It looks fast. It's like a platforming action game. I
always compare it to Infamous. Like
it does kind of
looks like that.
You say it. That's a good. That's
like
a good
the gameplay. She's like, for anyone who's played it, the main character has these electric shooting abilities, and he has his hand up like this, and you have that third person over the shoulder perspective. Yep. That's exactly how it's being presented. This game, except for magic or whatever. Yeah. So
this game looks really pretty. I don't know if that's enough to get me to buy it day one. If it gets good reviews, I'll probably check it out though.
Yeah.
Next we've got this is a buy for me day one. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. The Cuphead DLC that got announced 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Cuphead, the delicious last course. It brings you to DLC Island, which is delicious last course.
It's very clever.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's literally just gonna be another area with 5 more Cuphead bosses.
Yeah. Right. Which, I mean, if that's the case, I don't know why it took them so long.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm torn because I know that this game's all hand drawn. It's probably not easy to make, but I'm wondering what took them so long. I'm sure I don't know what goes into their development process and all that stuff, but if it's just gonna be more bosses, I'm down for that. But I wonder if there is more to it than that, since it took much longer than it was supposed to.
Right.
One of these days, you need to try Cuphead. If you get the chance.
That one. So I watched a playthrough of it a while back, but it was when it was an Xbox exclusive, and I didn't have an Xbox, so I watched a playthrough of it, and I don't know that it's really my kind of thing. It's already kind of hit or miss for me with 2D platformers.
Yep.
I do enjoy them, but really difficult ones, I don't know. The fact that I haven't played the original and I've watched a playthrough and it's all bosses basically.
It's basically 3-to-1 bosses to platforming levels. Basically every level's a boss.
Right. I'm familiar with the structure of it. So I'm sure it'll be great and probably just as good as the original. It's not something I'll be honest.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Then we're jumping to August 23rd. We've got the new Saints Row Reboot. I've never been a Saints Row guy.
Nope.
Didn't really grab me in their little trailer. I'm sure it'll be fun, but if I want to play an open worldy kind of open world shooter game, I don't know what those games are.
Plenty of other options.
Yeah, there's plenty of other options that I would rather hop into.
Well, it's I don't know. I thought didn't they have their like in like some of the early games, aren't they kind of like Grand Theft Auto? But then they just got progressively crazy. Like
I think so. It's like that's like Saints Row 1 and 2, and then Saints Row 3 is the one where they kind of took off, where they went like it was like we're Grand Theft Auto but wacky and wild, and then Saints Row 4 is like we're even wacky and wilder. It was like, well,
here's a laser cannon on your shoulder. Oh, okay.
And I think they're dialing it back a little bit because they got a complaint in the fourth one. It was a little too wild.
Yeah.
I mean, it's whatever. If it comes, who knows? Maybe one day it'll come to Game Pass and it'll be like you can run around and slap people with this
with a swordfish,
wacky waving inflatable arm held tube man, and I'm like, oh, that sounds fun.
I'll do that. I have some free time. I could do that.
I'm gonna put that on my no zone for now.
Same.
And here's the game that I think it has the potential to be a huge disappointment or a really big game for me. I am gonna get it though, and that's Starfield. On November 11th.
Well, I'm assuming that's going to be on Game Pass.
Yes, so, it's an Xbox Bethesda game. It'll be on Game Pass.
Right. And since I only have a digital Xbox, I'm still kind of a semi-collector at heart, so I do like to own physical things, but I can't in this case. So I'll definitely play it. But
don't worry, you'll buy it in 10 years when the Starfield Ultimate Collector's Edition comes out. Right. It's gonna be like Skyrim in space, so they're just gonna keep doing the Skyrim thing.
Right. Yeah, they're gonna release it 15 times.
Yeah, you'll buy the Starfield Anniversary Collection when their new game comes out.
Yeah. Well, I've to this day only bought Skyrim one time. Have not finished it, so
I've bought it twice. But if this game really is Skyrim in space, I will go absolutely crazy with it. I loved Skyrim the first time I played it. Skyrim's not a top 10 of all time for me, but definitely a top 20, definitely a top 25 thing for me. I really love Skyrim.
Yeah.
If it's Skyrim in space, I'm down.
Yeah, me too.
Cool, and that's all of our.
That's getting towards end of the year, yeah.
Yeah, that's all of our dated games, and here are our, our unofficially, not dated games.
A lot of these are going to be easy answers for me, specifically two of them, but yeah.
All right. Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. It's that that Ubisoft. Is it Ubisoft, the Avatar game?
Yes, I want to say tentatively yes.
I want to say tentatively yes also. And what I'm worried about, it's just going to be like an Ubisoft open world game. It's going to be really. They could make a cool Avatar game if you're like flying around the back of those things.
I think it's a cool idea. Like just on paper, it sounds pretty cool, and I like the. I mean, one day they'll come out with the next Avatar movie. But back when I was
That's
like 12 years old. That's
such a weird series because they're like, oh, we've already greenlit 5 sequels. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
what do you mean you've
greenlit? Put one more out.
Yeah, put one more out. What do you mean 5 sequels? Like, no one's invested in the lore of Avatar because they haven't seen it in 10 years. Like,
yeah, I don't know, man. But it does sound interesting to me. I think that the lore of it is cool, like the source material. So like, I could see myself buying it. Obviously, we have like next to nothing,
basically
else,
nothing.
So, yeah.
Here's another buy for me on the Switch: Advance Wars Reboot Camp.
Yep. Oh, so this doesn't have a date? I thought it got pushed to
Not officially. It got delayed from January. And then like there was like an eShop leak where the game like was listed for like April 8th, and then like they like took that off real quick.
Huh.
So it's not officially been dated, but. I mean, if it came out, that seems like a reasonable time for it to come out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a buy for me.
Almost outside the Elden Ring sphere of influence.
Almost outside, but it's also, but then it's probably in the triangle strategy ring of influence.
Mm-hmm.
But for me,
I like to have, at least a game, sometimes two, depending on if they're different genres, but on each system.
Yep.
So if they were on different systems, it'd be fine. But they're tactics
back-to-back tactics games, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm thinking I want to invest in triangle strategy, but Advance Wars, like, the closest thing I played to it is Wargroove, which, basically was a spiritual successor or whatever you want to call it to that.
Yeah.
It was like Advance Wars, but with a different setting. So I've tried to play that game through multiple times, and it just doesn't stick with me each time. But with Advance Wars, I mean, it's got a fresh coat of paint and looks, like. And
also, Advance Wars is what Wargroove was trying to be.
Right. Yeah.
So Advance Wars is.
I don't know. I obviously haven't played Advance Wars, so I don't know if it succeeded very well in doing that. Like I thought I'd heard that it did, but
if you look up Advance Wars 1 and 2 on Metacritic, they're both like in the 90s. They're like.
Really... Well, yeah. I mean, like, did Wargroove do a good job in? or was it like was it still just?
It was a great job it was a great indie effort for Advanced Wars. Gotcha. It was basically what I think the consensus was. I like Wargroove a lot. I'm really excited for Advanced Wars. It's 2 games technically. It's 1 and 2. Right. The original game. This is made by I think it's Way Forward who's remaking it, but it's originally made by Intelligent Systems, who makes Fire Emblem and Paper Mario stuff, and WarioWare get it together for some reason.
That was news to me.
Yeah, Intelligent Systems actually has a lot of games I like when I think about it.
That's funny. Yeah. I guess I didn't even realize they were Paper Mario too. That's crazy.
Yep. Yeah, they have a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
Here's one that I'm gonna be. It's like one of those like realistic with myself games. I would like to play one day, but I probably won't. A Plague Tale.
Oh yeah. So that was on PlayStation Plus, the first one, a couple months ago, and I have it downloaded, and I think that it'd probably be a pretty quick-ish, like linear single-player experience that I've heard good things about. So I would like to play.
I've heard good things about it, but if I'm like being honest with myself, like I already have a PlayStation game that's getting a sequel that I need to play in Horizon. Yeah. I'm not going to go play a Plague Tale, and then it's just too much at some point.
Yeah. Horizon's is more worth your time.
Yeah, I think so. Here's another Nintendo game. This is what this is between a wait and a buy for me. I think I'm gonna put it in wait. It's Bayonetta 3.
Breath of the Wild, the sequel to Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, sequel to Breath of the Wild. I think I'm gonna put Bayonetta 3 in my wait because
I haven't played the first 2.
I've not played the first 2. I'm not going to play the first 2. Yeah. But this is like, I don't think so. Nintendo like purchased the rights to Bayonetta. Like they used to be like multi-platform games. This is the first one like they've published, and it's have a lot more like money going into it and stuff, made by Platinum. Right. So it might have a little more, I don't want to say polish, and I think it'll be a good game. It's had a long development cycle. I liked Astral Chain, which was the last Platinum developed Nintendo published game. So I think I'll do it. I just don't know, what will be going on around then.
I think if you're wanting something like that, which I've only played a couple hours of this game, but Scarlet Nexus, I just recently started playing, which is not a Platinum game. It's Bandai Namco.
And that's on Game Pass, right?
It's on Game Pass, so that's why I started playing it, because it's just one of the games I'm trying for a while, but I definitely know it has that similar feel, that combat.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to take a risk with Bayonetta, you can.
Yeah, that's one way on reviews. Like if it's like an 8 out of 10, I might skip it. But if it's like a really
you want it to be incredible.
Yeah, if it's like a really good game, I'll probably find some time for it. Yeah. What about you?
I'm gonna say pass. Pass. Being realistic, I think pass unless I find some time, because I want to play the first 2. I kind of just want to experience them if I'm gonna experience the third one. So if somehow miraculously I play the first 2, then maybe I'll pick up the third one. But I'm gonna say pass.
This next game is the only port I put on the list, and it's because I think it's going to be like, basically they're going to try to relaunch this game. I put the next-gen version of Cyberpunk 2077.
That's a fair thing to put on the list.
I think they're going to try to release it as like a definitive edition with DLC, and like they're going to I think they're going to try to like pretend like the first one didn't come out, and they're going to this is the version that always existed.
They just waited, man. They would have preserved their reputation. Yep. And the thing is, I have heard many times that the game is good. It's running like that, but it's big, if.
Yep.
So
I already own this game on the PS4, and I would be hard pressed to believe that if this PS5 version comes out with like new DLC and stuff, that they make you pay for it, because they're already trying to gain back their reputation.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna assume that $10 box I have over there that's still in the plastic will just like work for this.
Yeah. Now, I guess if they re-release it like you're saying, I haven't bought it yet. I'm not, and it meets the expectations maybe of the original, what people originally expected. I wouldn't necessarily have a problem spending a full game's worth on it. I won't feel too bad about not getting it $10 spent on. But yeah, it's just that big if. Is it gonna? It sucks that a developer like that be put into question now. And I had only played one of their games. That was enough to sell me on them for anything that came out next. And Cyberpunk isn't really the aesthetic I appreciate as much as other things, but I was probably gonna try it just because of what they put out before. So
when they make Witcher 4, they're really have to buckle down and prove themselves.
Well, that's already gonna be tough because I'm pretty sure they said that like Geralt's story is done.
Yeah.
And so they're not only just they won't be able to kind of rest on their laurels in that sense. They've got a well-established protagonist. Like they're gonna have to do something different again. So I don't know. We won't see that till like 2030. So it doesn't matter.
That's not anywhere close. But I think they are making they've said the next gen version of that game's coming out this year too, which is what
that'll be good for people to jump into if you haven't played The Witcher. I mean, I may even replay it as long as that doesn't launch with anything crazy.
Let's hope not.
Yeah.
Here's another game on the PlayStation, Ghostwire Tokyo. I don't know a whole lot about this game. I think it's like I think it has some horror elements. I'm not too interested in it.
No. Me either.
It's a PlayStation exclusive that had some hype around it, so I included it.
Yeah.
Here's one that we've not heard like anything about in a long time, but Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah.
It's like a MMO or a big RPG of like.
Well, it's an RPG, yeah.
A Hogwarts game. This is a wait for me.
I'll pick it up. I don't know. I mean, I need more details, but
exactly
with just the few details that we have about it right now, if it is as good as what I think it could be, then it's for sure a buy for me. But
if it's a quality RPG in the Harry Potter world, I'll definitely get it. I don't even know who's making this game. I don't have any. I think it's like Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers is definitely publishing it.
I'm not. If it's a good game, I'll get it.
I'm not sure.
I couldn't tell you though. Here's a buy for me. I'm actually kind of excited for. They released another trailer for this game today also. Kirby. Kirby, the Forgotten Lands. I think it's coming out. They said it's coming out I had this in the undated section because it wasn't dated till today, but it's like March 28th or something like that.
It only got the dated today? I thought it had a release date.
No, it was spring. Okay. Now it's March. Something.
That's not a good release window for me. For other people maybe, but for me it's not good.
It's like a 3D Kirby game, and one of the abilities, Kirby's got a gun, which is hilarious. First of all,
Kirby's got a gun.
Kirby's got a gun. And the whole game can be co-opted with
cool.
Bandana Waddle Dee, which is that little goofy Waddle Dee with a blue bandana like a spear.
Nice.
So one person gets to be Kirby, one person gets to be Bandana Waddle Dee.
Bandana Waddle Dee,
which is
fantastic,
hilarious.
I mean, if this is Super Kirby Odyssey, then it'll pique my interest. But I'm gonna put wait. I won't say no because it could be a really good 3D
I think best scenario. This is just like baby's first Mario Odyssey. I don't think it's going to be.
That's what everyone's saying, and I wonder if they hear that.
There's I don't know.
I wonder if they know that. I'm sure they're not completely deaf to things people say, but I'm sure they understand that the expectation from Kirby games is for them to not be that difficult.
This game might not even be for us specifically. It might be for.
And that's okay. We have to realize that not every game, despite maybe the appreciation for what we want.
Yeah, this could be their in to get people to buy more 3D Mario games in the future. Yeah. All right, so the next game that's undated, another PlayStation exclusive, little game, called God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah. I know that we may have to explain the history of this IP. Very low key. Yeah. Not really, well known. Yeah.
It's I think he made an appearance in PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale.
Made an appearance. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm obviously this is the day one.
His name is what's the guy's name? Kratos.
Kratos.
Okay. Kratos.
Obvious day one for both of us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably gonna try to snag some kind of collector's edition for this one too.
I got to the PS4 God of War late, so I didn't put all the time I should have put into it, but I still really enjoyed it. I beat the game. Yeah. I was relatively thorough with it, but I was trying to get it done for other stuff.
Yeah.
This one I'll get really into.
Yeah, and I played that game and I was probably maybe a little bit more thorough than you, but I still if you look back at I probably played all the other main numbered God of Wars 1, 2, and 3 multiple times. This one I only ever played once, and I don't know what kept me from playing it again or
I feel like it's a bigger game. I feel like it's longer. Just by the type of game it is, it takes a little longer to get through.
Yeah, it's just, I guess, given how good it is, I'm surprised in myself that I haven't like made time to play it again, especially when they released like a PS5, the patch for it. But this year it is. I want to replay it before the sequel comes out, and I will do that. It's similar with another game I mentioned.
I think the PC version just came out and it has like ultra widescreen support.
Yeah.
So you can have like this like cool. Crazy like.
That is so cool, man.
Yeah, I think that'd be...
You see behind him.
Yeah, you see. Yeah, it's like imagine like a whole desk like a 360 view around.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. I would love to play it like that.
Yeah, that's an obvious day one for me. Yeah. I think it's going to end the Nordic saga or whatever.
Yeah, that's what they say. Which we had nothing to go off of, or I had nothing to go off of. But I guess I just assumed it was going to be a trilogy, but it didn't. It doesn't have to be. So like that's fine. Who knows what's going to come of this story wise? Because I remember seeing stuff from I wish I could. What's the guy's name? The director, Corey Barlog.
Yeah.
How they wanted to explore other mythologies, like that was always kind of the plan. So seeing where they go from this is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, really excited about this. I wonder, and I've seen people ask the same question, like, is this just going to be, more of the 2018 God of War, which is it's fine, that's okay, but or is it going to do something else drastic? What we've seen so far, which is not that much. It's like the same place but snowy.
Yeah.
that's what it looks like. So like the lake that you.
But I see you got bobsled.
It's like you're bobsledding, which is cool. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
I will certainly take just more of it with which it's not. There's no way that's all it's going to be. But if it's not some kind of drastic, huge leap, it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Yeah. People were mad when they showed this game and he had the same get in the boat animation as the last game. Like they're reusing this.
People, you go make the game. You go make the game yourself. Yeah. Okay, you make it better.
Do you want it to come out or not?
Do you want this?
Here's one that I know you are excited for. And I feel like this game has been coming out for 16 years. Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga.
It's funny. I didn't know what you were going to say. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know what this game is anymore because I feel like I've heard about it for several years.
Yeah.
That I don't even. Is it all 9 of the base movies?
Well, yes, but what is confusing for me is that they've already done the first 6.
Yeah. Is it like that plus?
I don't know. The thing is, I don't know. I have 2 questions that kind of oppose each other. I don't know why they would release a game and not change it, but then I'm thinking, why would they change it? Because those were successful. So it's like, why? I don't know what it would be. Yeah. So now if it is just like, kind of repolished. From the games that they released however many years ago, and then adding, or actually, don't they have Lego games for at least The Force Awakens? I don't know, man. I don't know what they're gonna do with these games. I mean, I think the first Lego game I ever played was way back on the GameCube, a Lego Star Wars game. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. I love the Star Wars IP, and they always have like a ton of characters that you can play as. The Lego crap is so gimmicky, but it's like. It's fun to see that take.
I like the Lego games when when you kill an enemy, like they bust in, like Lego
they explode into pieces.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, so I'll definitely play this. I mean, who doesn't want to be a Lego?
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's probably a wait for me. Just because I don't even know what it is.
Yeah. It's gonna have to depend. Some of these games, it's like obvious, big IP that I'm very invested in. Get it day one. Other things, it's like if these other huge games weren't around it. I don't know when this is coming out, but it could potentially be close to other big things. Yeah. That is what would make it a wait for me. If there's not much else close to it and I have time, then I'll buy it day one. But if in conflict with something else.
Then we got another game that I think is just really a scourge upon humanity. I just can't get behind it, no matter how hard they want to shove it down my throats. Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. I just don't. I'm so conflicted. My brain is confused.
Did we meme on it before we both ended up buying it?
I think so. We both made a severe hard.
I meant meme on it to the public. To each other, we definitely.
I think so. I think we made a severe stance. I will never buy this game. And then it's like, well, what if I sold it to you for $6 with all the DLC? I'm like, you got me.
All right, give it to me.
Give it to me. I played it on like one car ride, and like I liked it, but I did not like it enough to get past the atrocity that is the rabbits.
Yeah. If it was just like Mario, like,
exactly,
and Donkey Kong, and like just the IP that we really like in an XCOM game, like
okay, the rabbits are an atrocity, and they just terrify me. This game looks really pretty. The trailer they showed was it looked really good. I'll put this in the buy when it's $6 category for myself.
I think that deserves its own column in the spreadsheet, and that's gonna be there.
Yeah. I also wonder how Nintendo feels about having Mario's face next to a $5 bill.
They must. Wait, what?
Like you can buy this game with Mario in the middle for $5.
That price tag. Yeah.
They're probably not happy about that.
Probably not, because they've always been big. I feel like I've seen someone quote that like the reason why their games don't put like discounts on their games for a long time, and even when they do, it's not that great of a discount. It's because they believe that like their games are what they are. They're valuable.
They want to keep their like prestige.
Exactly. So which I agree with, and then it's like okay, but you've sold, with a freaking Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, you sold 40 million copies. Chill out. Okay, you made your.
Yeah.
Give it away for free. You're not. What are you losing?
Yeah. I don't know. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. So it's definitely in the buy when it's $6 category for me.
Next is Marvel's Midnight Suns. That game looks cool. I'll probably get it.
Isn't this supposed to be an XCOM style game as well?
But also the card system. Don't forget the card system.
Yeah, I haven't actually looked into it. I know that wasn't in like a trailer, right? That was like details post.
They showed like a gameplay reveal.
Oh, okay.
They showed a reveal, and they showed like a gameplay reveal like a week later. They're like, they ended the reveal with like, wait a week and we'll show you stuff. I'm like, why?
Why not now?
Yeah. They like a random like Thursday morning at 7 a.m. It was weird.
Yeah. Maybe I need to look up that video then, because I only have the cinematic in my mind. But
I'm down for the setting for sure. I just don't know if I'm down for the game yet.
Is it the card aspect or also the XCOM thing?
It's like both, mixture of both. It almost seems like it's trying to do a little too much for me.
Well, because I'm surprised with XCOM, like that stuff, that you don't even have more experience with it because of how much you like Fire Emblem. Yeah. I feel like they're kind of similar, It's
there's like a tactical strategy thing in there. I'm down for that. I don't have my experience with it, and I don't know. I'll have to wait and see, but I'm already pretty hesitant with card systems in games because sometimes I feel like they're just tedious. Like, I want to use this attack, and it's like, well, you better draw that card. Like, I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah, depends. Like, which since I'm staring at it right now, something I'll shout out. There's actually another one too, but SteamWorld Quest, which I put maybe 5-6 hours in, or maybe a little bit more. That one I like when it comes to cards because. So you have a few characters, and they each have like a very limited deck per se. So that's the thing I don't like about card games. It's like, okay, I have like 500 cards, and I have to pick like some. It's too much. But when you have like a very limited amount, like I don't know, it just feels better because then you're constantly drawing, or you're going to draw something you want pretty quickly. So I like how that game does something like decent. So there are ways they can work for me, but I understand your hesitation.
Yeah, so that's a wait for me. I'll see what happens. Here's another one. I'm just gonna put it in my no category, even though I think I would like this game. Metal Slug Tactics. It's a Switch game. It's from the Metal Slug universe, which I have no experience with. But it's going to be like, it's a tactics like Final Fantasy Tactics or like Triangle Strategy. But it has like a cooler, like it has a nice art style. I just know I will not get to this. It's going to be like, it's probably like, I'd probably enjoy it, but it's like a tier under the other stuff I'm going to play already.
Right.
Here's one I will play. I think you'll probably play it too. Monster Hunter Sunbreak.
Yep. I'm planning on getting back into that. I really enjoy the base game. So.
Yep. Monster Hunter. I enjoy that game
a lot. Is it Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, or
did
they change it to be?
I think it's called Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, yeah. I think it's going to launch day and date with the PC also, which is interesting. That's sometime this summer. I think it's just what it says, summer.
Yeah.
I'm down for that because I didn't do a lot of the end game grinding. Like I did some end game grinding, but I didn't get like uber end game grinding.
Right.
But I got enough to where I think if I wanted to start Sunbreak, maybe I could get the end game.
Well, I wonder what point it would. Yeah, I wonder if it would put you at that point, or if you could kind of start fresh with this. If it's going to be something like a huge expansion, like basically another games where
yeah.
Like, are they going to require us to be like super meta in game, from the base game in order to like get? Who knows?
Yeah.
But
I think we're probably going to be good because either way we're pretty high quality stuff. I think.
Yeah. Well, we have the expert, the resident expert, Andy Landy, to help us out.
We'll get Landy on the case.
Yeah.
Next game. This is going to be a pass for me. It's a weird game from Xbox. Redfall. The reason I say weird is because they showed like a cinematic trailer to end E3 with it, but they didn't say what the game was. I'm pretty sure they have since that it's like a co-op strategy shooter kind of game.
Yeah. But it's like, is it like kind of the hero based thing where you have like a specific character that does things, or?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, honestly. I'd be lying if I said. But basically the reason I'm not going to play it unless it's really, really, really good is I already have that in Borderlands. Borderlands is going to be my co-op shooter.
Yep.
I don't need to play Redfall also.
Yep. I'm sure there'll be plenty of DLC for that too. And
exactly. Borderlands has so much DLC you can't get to it.
Yeah. Right.
So it's like
I didn't get any of the Borderlands 3 DLC, and I guess it just for some reason I didn't get roped back into it. But I really like the setting of Tiny Tina's Wonderland. So I could see myself continuing to play that throughout the year as my co-op thing. So.
Yeah. Next game, Senua Saga Hellblade 2. This is gonna be a wait for me. I didn't play Hellblade 1, but the trailer showing it looked pretty cool. It looked like a quality game.
Pretty terrifying.
It looks terrifying. That weird like giant baby monster thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think for Hellblade?
I mean, with no offense intended, I'm probably gonna pass. Yeah. I didn't play the first one. I don't see back to. I feel like it really, I guess it depends on the series, but a lot of times I want to play like up to the new release, like with Bayonetta, like I mentioned.
Yeah.
If I don't realistically see myself playing the first one, I'm not going to get to this one. Like there's too many other big things coming out this year.
Here's a game you should put on your list to play immediately. It's another big open world, open air game. Everyone's doing these nowadays. Little known game called. Just kidding. It's Sonic Frontiers. Sonic Frontiers.
I didn't know what you're gonna. I forgot about this one. I didn't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I want another good 3D Sonic game. I really like Sonic Adventure 2, but pretty much every 3D Sonic game since then has been like mediocre to bad. They have not made like a good 3D Sonic game in a long time.
Yeah. I have such little experience with Sonic.
Yeah.
Like I have played like Sonic 1 and 2 in bits, but that's like it. I have no experience with a 3D game. So Sonic has just never been a franchise I've been super interested in. I think because maybe it passed me by when I was young, and then when I got older, I just heard about. So it's like
most Sonic games are bad. Like it's weird how prestigious the series is.
Yeah.
And most of the games are bad.
They're prestigious because of how good the original 2D games were, and then they had Sonic Mania, which was the same thing.
Yeah. They have like a handful of like really good games that people really like, and then they have like a bunch of weird like. There's a game where you Sonic pulls out the sword from the stone and becomes like King Arthur. Like he like has the Excalibur.
I feel like there's no way anyone could have predicted that's where the series was gonna go. Like I don't
know, man. Sonic's weird. He kisses a real human woman on the mouth in one of the games. I don't understand it. But I want Sonic Frontiers to be good. So I'm gonna put it on my buy list. Just because I have.
Wow, really?
Oh yeah,
wow. I have. Well, I guess you're a much bigger Sonic fan than I am.
Well, they're like it's a 3D Sonic game, which I like a couple of those a lot, and they're and it's gonna be like an open world Breath of the Wild looking thing. It's like, please.
I don't know that.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't mix. It doesn't mix. But I want it to. I want to
I feel
work.
like Sonic's whole gimmick is that he goes fast.
Yeah, you gotta go fast.
You gotta go fast. So like I just don't see how like the slow paced, like methodical exploration is gonna work for him.
It's probably not gonna work, but I want it to work.
I think that is. I think from the get go, I'm making it. This is a, hot take here from me. Yeah, I think because I'm just coming up with this right now. Like the fact that Sonic's whole gimmick is to go fast, and that's what it was. From the original game, like you're speeding through the levels and going around loops and all this stuff. It doesn't translate well to anything else. Like when you think about how it's made. Then you took that IP and you put it in 3D. Okay, it still makes sense. You put him in a freaking race car. Oh, okay, it still makes sense. But with Sonic, it's just like, he's supposed to do one thing. Why is he doing this weird? Like I don't know. That's my hot take.
That's why it's weird that a majority of their games are just bad games. I don't know why they stopped doing what was working. I couldn't tell you. Like Mega Man, they made there's like 6 Mega Man games on the NES. They're all the same game. People love those games. They're like good. But in Sonic, they're like, let's just make them bad for some reason. Like do something weird. I don't know.
I think they probably. I mean, I would have to go look back at the timeline of things, but of when they were releasing 3D. Mario. Like I'm comparing Drive to beat. So
what's weird is the first 2 3D games, in my opinion, in I would say a lot of people's opinions, the first Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 are the best and really 2 of the only good 3D Sonic games. The other ones are kind of bad.
Those are GameCube,
and
right?
Even Dreamcast technically, then GameCube.
Okay.
And then even those have their problems and haven't aged the best. But at the time, they were big good games.
Right.
And then since then, they're just do a bunch of weird stuff. And they're not. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know, man. And it's weird that it. I mean, can you think of any other developer that has failed that consecutively and it? I don't. You guys keep getting feedback, right? You're here. You hear? Do you read?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't know.
This game it's going to be weird. I imagine.
This is going to have to. Go ahead.
I was going to say I don't want to drag on Sonic too much. It's going to make me sad.
Yeah.
The game's coming to the Switch. I'll probably buy it on the PS5. I imagine it's not gonna.
You want to give it the best chance, right?
I want to give it the best chance it has. I'm not buying it on the Switch. Splatoon 3 Switch. I'm gonna put this in my my wait.
I think it's in between wait and buy because I don't think it matters that I haven't played the first 2 Splatoons, but I think when the first 2 Splatoons came out, I either didn't have the console or I just maybe didn't have the money, I guess, because I was in college and I had to, be selective. So when Splatoon 2 came out, I just, it passed me by. But I think this one I could.
I want another I don't have very many Nintendo games I play online. It was Smash Bros for the longest time. I still play Smash Bros sometimes, but it'd be cool to have another game to hop on the Switch and play.
Yeah, and it's interesting, third person shooter, very colorful on Switch. It's a very unique thing, and it's obviously a big hit.
Yeah,
cult following. It's it just seems like it's probably got a pretty addictive game.
Yep.
And I feel like when I got to the point where easily buy, Splatoon 2, it's kind of past prime, and all the people who are just really good at it.
I would like to play it when everyone else is playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if like you said, if you pop into Splatoon 2 right now, you'd probably get destroyed because people playing Splatoon 2 have been playing Splatoon 2 since it came out.
Right.
So it wouldn't be as fun. Starting fresh, Splatoon 3 might be a good time to hop in.
Right.
Here's another wait for me. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
Right.
This game is weird for me. This is because they're making 2 Warner Bros. DC, whatever. They're making 2 games. They're making this and then the Bat Family game.
Well, they're publishing them, but it's Rocksteady and it's
you're right.
Warner Brothers, Montreal, I guess.
Montreal.
So it's 2 different developers, but
Suicide Squad is the one that's following Arkham Knight, correct?
That's Rocksteady, yeah.
So, first question: where was everyone else the whole time Batman was doing all this stuff?
Well, it's easy to ask that question, but you have to remember. Think about the source material of comic books. Each hero has their own comic books that they're not always getting. There's cameos and stuff, but if it was just, this is Batman's, it's his city, it's his thing, that they didn't go outside of Gotham.
I get that.
What I'm saying is,
was there any reference at all that Superman existed in any of those 4 games?
I don't remember. I don't think so, but I don't remember.
Because, like, say you're watching like an MCU movie, you're watching, say you're watching Spider-Man, and it's like, it's Spider-Man, why doesn't Thor come help this threat, whatever. But, like, they exist because they're, like, referenced. But, like, I played 4 Batman games, and you're telling me all of a sudden Superman's just flying around, like, here? And
well, not in Gotham. I don't think it's going to be set in Gotham.
Well, yeah, but like still, I don't know, it's just, and like...
I get what you mean.
And Harley Quinn is it's the same Harley Quinn that's been in these games, I guess.
It's the assumption, I guess.
I don't know. It just it seems off to me. The gameplay, it's like a third person. Like, I think all the characters have like a shooty thing.
I didn't realize that's how it was going to be. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing yet.
Yeah, so I think it's like a third person shooter.
It does make sense though, because in a way, I mean, it could work with them having totally different gameplay styles, but to keep it kind of all consistent, and when you're switching between them, it's just abilities, right? Yeah. Okay, you're a up close and personal fighter here, and then shooter over here. So, I get why they made that choice.
I'll have to just put faith that Rocksteady, this is the Rocksteady one,
yeah,
that Rocksteady knows what they're doing. They've made quality games in the past, and that they're going to do a good job with this game. It's
going to be a wait for me. But
it just seems it's a wait for me as well. It just, I don't know, something about this game is off to me. I don't know.
Yeah. Yep.
But here's a game that's not off to me. We finally got around to the game we've mentioned 6 times. Breath of the Wild 2.
Yep.
Not much I can say. It's going to be a definite buy for me.
Yep.
I want to hear more about it. It's still, they said aiming for 2022. That's the last time we've heard about it.
I feel like they have to get this out this holiday, or no later than that. Like, I know times are tough, and maybe, the world war will continue to crumble, and then they'll have a good excuse. But, I think it's been long enough.
If there's any like small wins to gain from the aiming from 2022 thing, during the Game Awards, Nintendo had basically a 2022 commercial that showed like a bunch of announced games, and they did show Breath of the Wild 2 in that sizzle reel. I don't know. I hope it comes out. I don't even, it doesn't even need to live up to Breath of the Wild for me, because Breath of the Wild is such a new thing. If they can't capture that magic in a bottle again, if they can get 90% of what Breath of the Wild was, I'm going to be...
It's more like, you have to kind of change your perspective on it, because they're not going to capture that same...
Yeah.
The series changed, like they changed all these mechanics and stuff, so they would have to do that again, and nobody even wants that. So like, it's more just building on what they had, right? Because there's a lot of 99% of the things about Breath of the Wild, people, there was a couple complaints for like hardcore fans. They want the dungeons, and some people had issues with like the weapon durability system, which I thought it was okay. There's some tweaks to be made, but if they just do that and continue to expand on it, like, they don't have to totally rock the boat here. For me.
I like the weapon durability system because it makes you scavenge and find new weapons. The only complaint I have is I wish so obviously the Master Sword like runs out of energy. I wish the weapons for the champions you get, I wish those worked like the Master Sword. Because I just never used them. I just put them on a shelf in my
You can make them again, but why go through all that trouble?
I didn't want to deal with it. If they worked like the Master Sword where they ran out of energy, I would use them all the time. I just never used them because of that.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Hylian shield. It broke. It's I don't want to build another one.
Yeah, and I can see the argument for the champions weapons, because then it's you look at it, and those were all different types of weapons. Yeah. Why would anyone use anything else besides the Master Sword and those 4 weapons? The bow, and then
but at that point
the Hylian shield, I agree. That shield should it just shouldn't.
Even if it is getting a longer cooldown time, I know they're the best weapons of that type, so it would make some, null and void. But that you should earn that at some point in the game,
Yeah, but you get them every quarter of the game.
Yeah.
Get one of those basically. So I see your argument, and I also see the argument why they did. At least you can recreate them. Maybe if they less annoying to recreate them, the materials were kind of hard to stuff like that. Made it a little bit easier.
At the very least, though, the Hylian shield was annoying.
Yeah, that one I think there's no excuse for. That should just it shouldn't have any cooldown. It should just be a shield that doesn't. That's supposed to be what it is. It's like the best thing ever. Yeah, I agree with that one. Yeah.
Breath of the Wild 2.
So we'll see. I think they will build on it. Yeah, I think they will build on Breath of the Wild and positive. I think that I'm sure they've heard.
Yeah.
Well,
and that game's gonna have like a 5-year development cycle, so that could be and so you say Breath of the Wild 1 had a long development, but that was them building this engine. This whole game presumably is them building on top of the foundation they already had, and they did it for like 5 years. There could be some crazy stuff in there.
Yeah, and we can't minimize the pandemic, but it is still like it wouldn't have been had the pandemic not happened, but it is pretty crazy that 5 years. Yeah, it's crazy to think about.
And then the last game on the list, one that's a wait for me. I think it has potential to be interesting. I don't know though. Lord of the Rings Gollum. It's like a stealth game where you play as Gollum. Is my understanding of it. Which could be cool if it's like well designed puzzles.
Right. I love the Lord.
Yeah.
I haven't played that many video games. Maybe only one or two. And so this isn't necessarily what I want. I'd rather be all the other cool characters, but I do like the IP. It's interesting to me for that. It's probably a wait just to make sure I know it's going to be good. But I'm sure I'll end up picking it up.
Yep. I put it in my wait also. Basically, my wait is like if it's a really good like puzzle stealth game, with cool story, I'll probably pick it up at some point.
Yeah.
So that's all the games for Lumber. That's a lot of games.
Nice.
I think our list were pretty balanced between the buy, wait, and skip. But
for the sake of my wallet, I hope so.
But even with that, our definite buys, we've got 12 and 13.
This is not including all any ports or things that we
or
may be interested
new games that get announced.
And new things that we don't know
it's
about.
It's gonna be a busy year. There's a lot of stuff coming out this year.
I did play roughly 40 something games, like 41, 42 last. There's room in there, for me to be able to fit all these in. But
well, I mean, who knows? Maybe you'll play Elden Ring 16 times.
Well, that's at least 2 or 3 times. That's
So. Well, cool. I appreciate it, Sir Lumber. I think this is a fun discussion. I'll see you back a year from now when we talk about the 2023 games.
Sounds good.
Until then, I won't. But
right. No.
Alrighty. Well, thank you all for watching. 2022 looks kind of insane, and we'll see if it actually lives up to all the possibilities it has here.
Here's hoping.
Here's hoping.